I'm Travis Willingham. Thank you, yes. Very excited. I started voicing in anime in 2004. My first very large role was in a little bitty show called Full Metal Alchemist as Colonel Marcel. Thank you very much. Other shows include Mushishi, Oran High School Host Club. You people love Oran, my god. With the most talkative character of my career, Mori Senpai, who always said, fancy tuna. Mori likes seashells. Yes, yes. I love it. We're already getting, yes, yes. It's Friday. Jesus, are we having fun yet? Amazing. So, wait, is it, are people in exams right now, in high school, college, stuff like that? Yeah. You skipped them.
Yep.
Oh, no. Raise your hand if you should be in school right now. Raise your hand if you had an exam or a test today. Jesus, people! Raise your hand if you have, some kind of a contingency backup plan for taking that test at a later time so I don't feel bad about myself for being in this panel. The rest of you raise your hand and just lie to me. Okay, good. We're going good. Okay, so Full Metal Alchemist, Mushishi, One Piece. What else is there? My gosh. Naruto, Bleach, Ghost, yes, Ghost Hunt. Yeah, whatever you said. Blast Rider, Tiger and Bunny. My God, I can't remember all of them. Soul Eater. Ergo Proxy! We're gonna yell show names
D. Gray Man!
until everyone goes deaf. D. Gray Man! Oh my god, what is wrong with me? It's terrible. It's terrible. Shuffle! Yes, I play the King of the Gods and there's a bunch of boob shots and, Vic is the king of the demons, shocker. Yeah, so there's that. Am I deafening anyone yet? No, it's not too bad? How about now? Okay, so that's who I am. That's on the anime side of things. Do we have a lot of gamers, video game people? Holy crap. Okay, yeah, so a lot of disguise, personas, yes. Oh my god, Fire Emblem, yes, I know. People are liking Lanka very much right now. What else? Infamous Second Son, yes, on the PS4. The PS4ers out there? X-boners, Xbox Oneers. No, one in the back. Nice. Is there only one Xbox One in this room? 2, 3. Don't raise your hand like you're questioning it. If you raised your hand 5 seconds after I asked, you don't have one. There's no Xbox Ones, and people are well, I might have a $400 console in my house. I don't know. You liar. Faker. What else? Lots of original animation. If you're a fan of Marvel comics, I do the voice of Thor for Avengers Assemble. And I'm also the voice of Knuckles the Echidna in the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise. If you're a fan of Sonic, raise your hand. If you are worried about the new concept design, raise your hand. Don't be. The game may look a little funny, but I promise you, as an avid fan myself, after having read the scripts for the TV series, it is funny. It's really, really funny and really good, so don't freak out, don't worry, it's gonna be good. Plus, Roger Craig Smith and I are the characters we would not let you down. Okay, so, should we ask questions and I'll just keep standing on this chair like some kind of freak? I mean, this is better than here, right? Or here? Or here? I want to hide. I want to hide behind this table. And you are going to ask your questions. And then maybe, just maybe, I will come out and answer them. Okay. Back on the chair. Hey, what's up? Yes.
Okay. Of the animes you've done, which crossovers would you like to see?
Whoa. That's a big question for the number one. I would like to see Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball Z. I would also like to see Inuyasha and Attack on Titan. Just because I want to see Inuyasha get eaten by a Titan. By the way, Attack on Titan, those Titans, the normal ones that come wandering in, they kind of freak me out a little bit. Because they just look like people on drugs. With like really big teeth. They're just like... They're supposed to be drugged? Well, they do look like drunk people. They look like butt-naked drunk people eating smaller people. Like if I was butt-naked and drunk, I don't know if I would kick through a wall, walk into a village and go, oh, there are people the size of my hand. I'm going to eat them. Chips, yes. Chocolate, sure. People, maybe not. It's a little disturbing, just saying.
Also, one more. Of the voices, if you could swap one person's voice with another, who would you do?
Ooh. I would be Sailor... No. That's a good question. I don't know. I'll have to think about that one. I feel like that's an application for college kind of question. I need like 200 words for that one. Yes?
I just want to say I really enjoyed your performance in Infamous Second Son. I recently beat that game and it was a great experience. I just want to know what your thoughts were on playing Delson's brother in the game.
Yes, I played Reggie Rowe in Infamous Second Son. Delson was played by my very good friend Troy Baker. Yeah, what a hack.
Oh, really? He does Batman.
It was awesome because it was the first time that they actually scanned in our likenesses in the game. So they put us in this 3D scanner that has like 300 cameras and it takes all these pictures and everything, and then sure enough your freaking face ends up in the game, which I've been playing video games since I was like 6, so that's a pretty cool deal for us. It was very cool, and the game was awesome. I didn't have any powers, which kind of sucks, but I got a gun, so that was okay.
There was that one mission where you did kind of run around pretending you did have powers.
That's true.
That was just hilarious.
I am a conduit. I am horrible, and I kick kittens and all sorts of stuff. Yeah.
All right, thanks.
Yes, you're welcome. Thank you. Oh, little shrimp. Shrimpy, shrimpy, shrimp. Shrimp cocktail.
That's not a real voice.
Oh, there it is. Oh, it's over here. Yeah, my question. You're like Mickey Mouse. Hi, I'm the little alchemist. There you go.
I know you guys don't get recognized in public a lot, but was there ever an instance where you did, and if so, what happened?
There was one time in the grocery store by our house when I was in the cereal aisle, and I wasn't really paying attention. Like I was just kind of staring, and I might have been checking out like Lucky Charms, and someone was like, "Travis Willingham," and I was like, "God, what do you want?" Yes. Yes? And she was like, oh, "Hi, I'm such a fan." I'm like, of the cereal? She's like, "No, of you." I'm like, right, you're right. That's why you knew my name. I knew that's why you said my name. So the cereal aisle. She's like, I don't have anything. I'm like, what, like money? And she's like, no, I don't have anything for you to sign. I'm like, I didn't expect you to, so we're even. How about a high five and I'll get the hell out of here? What do you say? So that was kind of cool. Yes?
My brother wants me to say hi to Thor, because he loves you.
Oh, Thor says hi to your brother. For Asgard! I have a hammer. Yes. Are you Loki? Yeah! Nice. Your horns are a little floppy, but that's okay. I love how you hit it just to try and get it up a little straighter. I have my eye on you, brother. Yes.
Besides Thor for Marvel, you also played a villain from the anime X-Men, right?
Yes, Mastermind.
Yeah. My question is, if Marvel Studios plans on making yet another X-Men animated series of any style.
Yep.
And they chose you to be a part of the cast again. Is there another character in X-Men you would like to voice as, hero or villain?
I like Colossus. Yeah.
Is that a tall reference?
Is that a tall reference? Yeah, it could be. Juggernaut's a good one. Oh, the Juggernaut. Yeah, or like Magneto. Magneto's always awesome. Yeah, so yeah.
Cerebro.
So, isn't Cerebro a machine? He's like, oh, it is. Sorry.
Hello, I have a question about Mushishi.
Yeah.
I guess, what was it like both being in a show that was so, I guess, culturally different than most anything I've ever seen in America?
Right.
And also something where you had to play such a dominant role compared to, I think, about anything else I've ever seen any of the voice actors do in a show.
It freaked me out, man. So, raise your hand if you've seen Mushishi. Oh, amazing! Okay, so more and more people are seeing it. I think a second season is being done in Japan right now, which is great. I'm very excited about that. So, Mushishi was the first show that I played after Full Metal Alchemist, and being such a Dragon Ball Z fan, when I first got to Funimation, all I wanted to do was have blonde hair that was spiky and really big muscles and scream when I blew things up. That never really happened. I mean, I got to play Cell later, but I was never a Saiyan, so... I'm so fancy. So the first role I had at Funimation was in Yu Yu Hakusho, and I played this character, Yanagisawa, that had shape-shifting powers, and they're like, hey, we've cast you as a character. I was like, awesome, do I have powers? And they were like, yes. I was like, am I awesome? And they were like, well, you're a shapeshifter. I'm like, am I a shape-shifting badass that like gets really angry and his muscles puff up and he blows people up with the energy beams coming out of his hands? Like, no, you get knocked out and you change back into your original form. I was like, ew. So when I got to be Roy Mustang, and I found out that he was the Flame Alchemist, and he snaps his fingers and things blow up, I was like, yes, I'll take that. Thank you very much. So Mushishi was a departure from that because Ginkgo talks like this when he speaks in the show, and everything's a very quiet whisper, and he's very knowledgeable, but if you talk like this for too long, you'll put people to sleep. So Mike McFarlane is directing the show, and in that show it has some of the most beautiful artwork and some of the most gorgeous music that you've ever heard in a show, and if your lead actor is whispering like this, you start to fall the hell asleep. So I'd look out and he'd be doing the like... Yeah, oh no, it's good, man, do it again, that's good. So it's a very relaxing show, but there's no linear storyline, so each episode is its own story. There's nothing that happens in the previous episode or the next episode that affects what's happening when it's going on, so they're individual stories. So for that reason, it's very, very cool. I highly encourage you all to see it. Oh wait, I was gonna do something. Raise your hand if you have Twitter. Awesome. Raise your hand if your name is Rose Arnold. Hey! Oh, you were the little shrimp! Yeah, she tweeted this picture of the line out in the hallway, so I just wanted to say hi, what's up? So my Twitter handle is Willing Blam. Because my first and last name are really freaking long, so that didn't work, and then somebody already had like T. Willingham, so we were having bourbon, and you guys know Sam Riegel? Sam Riegel's like, why don't you make it Willing Blam? I'm like, that sounds good. So Willing Blam, that's where I'm at. And actually, I don't do like Facebook or anything like that. If you ever want to like get my attention, Twitter is probably the best way to do it.
No raped bacon?
No raped bacon. Have you guys heard the rape bacon story? Okay, so you know on like Xbox you have your gamer handle or whatever? So the first one I picked was Raped Bacon. Because my last name is Willingham, and I figured the opposite of willing was raped, and the opposite of ham was bacon. Right? So you'd be playing like Call of Duty, and people would be like, yeah, that was us, what? Rape bacon? They'd be like, oui, it is French. It is rapid bacon. They're like, are you really French? I'm like, yes. Like, isn't it like 2 o'clock in the morning in France? No. But like a week after that, Microsoft like canned my name because they said, your name has an offensive term in it because, you know, nobody likes being raped. So they give you these options to pick from. Like they have the gall to take your name and then give you a suggestion box of names to replace it. And the first one was like, they literally just took 2 words and smashed them together. And the first one was like Crimson Octopus. The second one was like Rubber Nostril. And the third one was Meaty Albatross. And I was like, that is so stupid. I'll take that one. So that's it. Yeah.
You have said on several occasions before that you have a tendency to voice characters that have an affinity with fire.
Ah.
And the last time you were here, I believe, was Acen 2012.
Oh my God.
And during Acen 2012,
You know your stuff.
there was a fire alarm at a very inconvenient time.
What's your
So,
point?
for the last 2 years, I've been wondering, did you start the fire?
Listen, I go places, fires start. What do you want from me? It's not like I do it on purpose. I literally, it's not, I wish I would go up to the shows and be like, so I like this show, but you got any characters that create fire? Because otherwise I'm out. No, it doesn't work that way. And I was not involved in that fire alarm. Really, I was.
I was wondering.
No, I seriously was.
I was wondering what.
No, I really was.
I was wondering what would go down if Kanda, Roy Mustang, and Mori Senpai got in a battle, and who would die first and who would win.
Oh God! Kanda, Roy Mustang, and Mori in a battle? Is it like to the death? And like there's only one person left?
Yes.
Well, ladies are gonna be crying. Right, you're gonna be breaking the hearts of some ladies and probably some dudes. Ooh, well, so Maury doesn't really have any like weapons except for being tall, silent, and awesome. I mean, unless he can like grab Honey, shake him up like a grenade, and throw him. Like Mustang slides on his glove, Conda pulls out his sword, and Maury goes, "Mother, height." So I think Maury's out first round. I know it sucks, and he's like, I died. Oh no. So that leaves Conda and Roy. Yeah, it's kind of hard. He can just kind of sit there and be like, Conda's like, I have a ponytail, no. Yeah, I think it's Roy Mustang. Yeah. Why do you make me choose between my children? There can only be one. Yes.
Okay. My question is, with voiceover, you do Marvel, Disney, and Funimation.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a difference between the different companies?
Yes, totally. Funimation is mostly anime or Japanese licensed products, so we usually record one at a time. Marvel, we get to do kind of a radio play scenario, so we can have 3 to 4 actors in a room, or as many as 12 or 14 sometimes, which is kind of like an insane asylum, because it's a bunch of grown-ass men and women doing really weird voices. And since it's a comic book, like comic series, everybody sounds angry. Like, I'm yelling about Asgard, and Fred Tatasciore is going, Hulk smash! And Roger Craig Smith is like throwing his shield, going, And you got Laura like echoing him, because she's Black Widow doing all these like feminine kicks. She's like, ooh, I'm hot. That stuff. And then you get to Troy, who's Hawkeye, and he's just firing his arrow, and he's like, like, that's your firing your arrow excerpt? He's like, what's it supposed to sound like? But this is a good point. So it's a lot of fun when all of us are in the room recording, because then we can see what each other are doing, and we can try and distract each other by taking clothes off, or making faces, or pretending to make out with yourself in the corner, or drawing inappropriate things on your iPad and holding them up while they're delivering a serious line, profane pictures, throwing pieces of fruit. We do have a game in Avengers Assemble where most of the guys, you'll stand like in front of the microphone, and if I hold up a pencil, everybody else has to hold up a pencil, and you have to stand with your legs spread apart, and everybody gets one shot to throw it across the room and go, nuts. And you gotta take it. You can't flinch or move or whatever. So you'd be in the middle of the line, you're like, For Asgard, I will find a way to defeat you, Loki. That's how we keep it interesting. Disney, there's no nut throwing games, so not so much. Usually that's like, I'm a good father and these are good family values. There you go. Yeah.
Well, Marvel's owned by Disney.
That's true. Disney owns everything, including all of you, and you just don't know it. Star Wars, Marvel, they own everything.
Mr. Willingham,
Oh my God, you have the cutest little voice ever. Big breath. There you go.
Mr. Willingham,
Yeah.
if you were to have a voice of Erwin Smith, how would you do it?
If I was the voice of Herman Smith?
Erwin Smith?
Erwin Smith. Oh. Mr. Eyebrow Game?
I don't know. That's a good question, but if I have the strong eyebrows, perhaps I would sound like this. Because all I would need to do is look at you and cock one of those eyebrows and you would be mine.
That's all.
Okay.
Mr.
Mr.
Willingham?
Willingham. Mr. Wow.
I was wondering, is there anyone you particularly...
I'm sorry, it's Mr. Willingham? Sorry, say that.
I'm just wondering, is there anyone you particularly enjoy working with in the industry? Any good stories with?
So, like the guy that I idolized the most in the beginning is actually one of my really good friends, one of my groomsmen, Chris Sabat. Like when I started watching DBZ, I'm like, oh my God, Vegeta's one of my favorite characters, and you know, yeah, he voices everybody. You know, I mean Piccolo and everybody. And I remember the first day that I got to Funimation for Case Closed, and there was this bald dude in the booth with a little like flavor saver and some really cool glasses. And I was like, hey man, Travis, nice to meet you. And he's like, oh, hi, I'm Chris. And I was like Chris Sabat, Chris? And he's like, yeah, that's me, man, why? Oh shit. I was like, you're the voice of Vegeta. He's like, yeah, I am. I'm like, it's cool. It's cool. I like walk and get in the booth or whatever, and he goes, you know I also do the voice of Piccolo. I was like, oh. I don't understand. They're two different people. He goes, yeah, I do both voices. I was like, can you do the voice? He goes, seriously? I'm like, yeah, I'm serious. I am Vegeta, Prince of the Saiyans. I'm like, amazing. Can you do Piccolo? Oh, Piccolo, I yell all the time. I was like, oh. So I kind of fangirled over Chris for 20 minutes to his face, alone in a room. And I'm pretty sure he was looking at the telephone on the desk like... He's like, Ernie, oh my God! So, yes, that was one. And then when I moved to California, there are like classic voice actors that you never think you'll ever work with. But Frank Welker was one of them, who's been in everything. And in Avengers Assemble, he came in and was Odin for my Thor, so he played my father, and you're just sitting there the whole time going,
Everything you do is great.
that's all you do the whole time. Like you're drooling on my shoe.
I'm sorry. I can't stop. It's a clinical thing.
So that was pretty great. And the only other one, oh my God, why am I forgetting his name? It's because I have a brain fart. Optimus Prime. Peter Cullen. I walked into a studio once to work on the third Transformers game, and I'm like, there's like this little guy like rummaging through the fridge or whatever. He's kind of got his head in there and they can't see him or whatever. And I'm like, man, it's so hot outside today. He goes, oh yes, I know. I was like, oh my God, you sound just like Optimus Prime. He's like, I am Optimus Prime. I was like, I'm afraid I do. He's like 5'7", 5'6". He has this thick mustache. Just this little guy and the voice of God comes out. I'm like, can you stand behind me and talk all day long? I just want to take you to a drive-thru and be like, I would like a double cheeseburger for all the Autobots. Amazing. Yeah.
Okay, Sir Willingham?
Sir? Oh shit, I'm moving up in the world. Mr. Sir? Wow. If you're under the age of 18, raise your hand. Ignore that word I just said. Okay, cool.
Do you have a favorite outtake?
Favorite outtake? Oh, from working on anime?
Yes.
So the Oron outtakes are pretty damn funny. Yeah, you know, if it wasn't Mori like seashells, there was some, I don't even remember what was happening. But there was like a scene on a sidewalk, and like Honey's standing there and like an ice cream cart is being pushed or something. And for some reason, Mori just comes like streaking across the scene and grabs him. And you know when it's not really that funny, but for some reason you have like a little minor stroke and everything. It's the funniest thing you've ever seen and you can't stop laughing. That's what happened and they recorded it for like 5 minutes. I was like, I don't know what's wrong with me. It's not even that funny, but I can't stop laughing. And my face hurts. So, yeah.
And then, on a serious note, do you have a role that really challenged you? An example I like to use is Vic Mignogna for Edward Elric. His Faith. Vic's a strong Christian in the play Edward Elric.
Well, no, because as an actor, you know, we're playing pretend, right? So when Vic or myself gets cast to play a serial killer, I would hope that doesn't keep him up at night. You know, like, I don't know, I've never killed 6 people in 2 weeks. I'm having a hard time with this thing, you know, going home and like sharpening knives like Dexter or something. Yeah, no, I mean, that's what we do it for. We get to play pretend and you get to step into the shoes of somebody that's not you. The challenging for me is usually more vocally based. Like, if it's something that really sucks, like for, again, one of the Transformers games, we had to play like a rogue Decepticon for the multiplayer thing, and they're like, all right, so let's establish a voice print for this. What's the rogue Decepticon gonna sound like? I'm like, well, how about he sounds like really big and deep? And they're like, yeah, go a little deeper. I'm like, okay, like really big and deep. And they're like, go deeper. I'm like, okay, really big and deep. And they're like, oh, cool, now make him really rough. Okay, now he sounds like this. And they're like, yeah, that sounds good. We have like 2.5 hours of battle fighting reactions. So it's like, die, Autobots! I'm gonna turn you into scrap! You're gonna be mine, Optimus! Oh my god. Like, it sucks. 2.5 hours later, you're like, you're gonna be mine, Optimus! Then you really start sounding like Edward Elric. So those are the ones that are hard. Yeah.
Sweet.
Okay. I was wondering who would win in a fight between the strongest character you've ever played and, since it's coming out this weekend, Godzilla.
Oh man.
Godzilla!
Godzilla! It's got like 80% on Rotten Tomatoes. I hear some people like, it's boring, and other people are like, it's amazing. I hope it's good. It can't be better than Pacific Rim though, because that was the jam. Strongest, if you didn't like Pacific Rim, God be with you. Get out. Strongest, so I played the Hulk, right? I guess that's the strongest character I've ever played. Or Cell. Ooh, Cell. Hulk and Thor, that's a tough one. You know, I think Hulk's kind of got the advantage. Cell, however, is, you know, several Saiyans combined. I don't know, I just feel like Godzilla would like belch that atomic fire one time and that would be a done step. I don't know. Or maybe it'd be like some fan film where Cell just like flies through his torso and that's it. That was easy, ha ha ha. I don't know.
The other one was, you mentioned Chris Abbott earlier, and he's known for playing a lot of pranks on people. So I was wondering, what's the best prank he's ever pulled on you?
Oh, it's terrible.
And what's the best prank you've ever pulled on him?
He's horrible. I've never really gotten him back because it's like trying to punk Ashton Kutcher. Like you just can't do it. He found some. Should be illegal. I'm sure they've outlawed it by now, but he found some app in the early like iPhone 2, iPhone 3 days where he could enter in his number and then enter in the name and caller ID that was going to show up on your phone. So he entered in Laura Bailey's name and number, called me from his phone, altered his voice in the app so that it sounded like this. And I'm at dinner with Laura, and she calls me, and I was like, oh, your phone's calling me from your purse. And she like picks it up. She's like, no, it's not. So I answer it, and I'm like, hello? Hi, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm fine. What are you doing? Stalking you. I'm sorry, who is this? She's like, I'll never tell. And we're in like a restaurant, right? I'm like looking around. Laura's name, Laura's right here. Start thinking maybe you're having a mental breakdown. So I'm like, yeah, okay, I gotta go. Hang up. He called like 5 more times. Freaked me out a little bit. I finally figured out it was him. That son of a bitch. I've never gotten it back. It's impossible. It's impossible.